Working Mommy Manual listeners and viewers.
Happy New Year.
Hi.
Is it a new year and a new me?
I actually, someone got me this really funny calendar, and it was in January is like new year, new me. No, same me, just less tolerance for bullshit.
There you go. That is a fact. I love that one.
Yeah.
I need a new calendar. So every year I always prepare. I get a desk, I like my big calendar. I use one. And then I use the little paper, you pull one off and every day.
Pull one off thing is fun because it's satisfying.
Well, I need the whole thing because.
Wait, why do you have a desk?
Okay, first of all, because we're
for your family?
Finance. We're in finance. I like to be able to look at the dates and look at the whole month and be able to rattle off. I know we have Outlook, but it's a little tiny square. I need the big picture, and that's what I use it for.
Okay.
You want a settlement date? I'll get it to you.
All right. You know what? I get that. I get that. Because All right. I'm going to give that one to you.
Right. But I haven't gotten one yet this year.
But I will secretly make fun of you behind your back.
Well, I laughed because the one time I opened up my drawer to my Rolodex, and you're like, stop. You still have a paper Rolodex? I'm like, yes, I do. But
I haven't had a Rolodex since let me think. When did I have a Rolodex? For sure. No, probably the late 1990s.
Oh gosh. No, I may have gotten rid of it. No, it's still there, but I do put everything into my contact because what happens when the grid crashes? I still need contacts. I still need my little papers so I rummage through.
Okay. End of day prepper.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So do you do goals lists?
Yes. So I make goals every year, and I am just running late this year. So last year was an absolute disaster. It was one of the hardest years I've had in a very long time. And so I'm still recovering from that, still working through some things, but I feel really good about everything this year. And I don't know, I feel I have positive energy. I feel good about it all. I have yet to set my goals. I have said I want to be better prepared and more organized. And when I say that to people, they're like, you are very organized. And I said, I know I am. However, there's always room for improvement.
May I offer some feedback?
Yes.
That's my new phrase. Instead of me just telling people what to do. So if you hear me ask you, may I give you some feedback? I'm going to give you feedback whether you like it or not. Yes. I'm just trying to be nice and ask up front.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it's that you're not organized. Mm. I think that you are, it is difficult for you to relinquish responsibilities.
Yes.
So you get spread too thinly.
Well, yes, I've gotten way better at that.
And there are a lot of women out there that do the same thing.
Yes, but I've gotten much better because I don't have time. I don't have time to hold everything close to my chest and to make sure it gets done right. I do pass it
I know
on.
you don't have time, but you still, but I would say even of the things you think you have time to do, and I am doing air quotes, and because it is fake, you're doing too much still.
Yeah.
That's always my drumbeat to you.
Yeah, I know. It's very true.
Less, do less.
It's not.
Everyone else in my life, do more. Do more. But you are the one person I need you doing less.
I know.
So, okay. So I did my goals list already.
Yes.
Got that.
Good job.
Yeah. I always, I did my goals list, and I always have a goals list. I don't have New Year's resolutions because I think New Year's resolutions are crap.
Right.
Because it makes you feel like you failed if you don't get them. But
sorry not to interrupt, but I'm interrupting. We talked about, Dale and I talked about.
Are you going to give me feedback?
No. But we talked about dry January. And then I was
and then you were like,
nope.
Terrible idea.
I'm not doing that this year. That makes it for a long freaking month.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the concept. You know, you've overindulged for an entire month. You're trying to start off the new year clean, but there are too many times where I'm going to social things every night this week.
Why?
You know what my new thing is?
Why?
This is terrible. You can give me feedback about this.
Okay.
My new thing is I'm because I like them, but I like a straight up Tito's martini, very dry with ice that they made it with on the side and 3 blue cheese stuffed olives.
Yes.
And I like that because I don't drink it quickly.
Right.
And actually Jay, our friend Jay is the one who told me that. He was like, get a drink. Because if you go to these social functions or networking or wherever, you're at a conference and everyone's drinking, it's hard to not drink. But he's like, get a drink you don't like.
Right.
Because it makes you drink more slowly. Now, it's not that I don't like a martini, but let's face it, a very dry martini is straight vodka.
Yes.
So
there's no way I could not drink that.
I know. So I drink it very slowly, and then I take a little sip, and then I put ice in it.
Yes.
So it becomes like a very watery vodka.
That's a good way.
My grandmother was Polish. I told you the story about how she had an in-law apartment on the third floor of our house. And I would go up and watch like Rockford Files and Paradise Island and All in the Family with her at night. And she would make herself a vodka and ginger ale. And she'd make me a tiny little vodka and ginger ale.
Those are the 80s, baby.
It wasn't even like as a teenager. Like I was like 8. She's like, you're going to sleep well.
I'm going to train you well.
You're welcome.
Exactly.
So,
is that your grandma hack?
Yeah. So my grandma hack is feed your child booze.
Yeah.
Early. Get them started early and often. So, okay. So along the lines of goals. So the reason I like goals is that my goals are just that. Like they're not things I need to accomplish. They're things I need to move toward. Yes. And so if I even take one step, then I've moved myself. That's one additional step I've taken, right? Like, so that's an accomplishment.
Right.
So that's how I like to think about goals. Who likes to think that they've failed? You know, like why would you set something and then be like, oh, well, like I'm going to go to the gym 4 times a week. And then you go 2 times a week and you're like, oh, I've ruined it. And it's like, okay, but you were going to no times a week. So 2 times a week is great.
It's better than none. It always reminds me of that Noom app. There was a time where like each day you would read something.
Which I like that Noom app.
It did. It was great.
They can sponsor us if they'd like.
I know. And so there was a point of it. It was like, okay, so you had a cookie today. You don't have to have a cookie after dinner, or you don't have to start over every single day. It's like just your next decision can be a better decision. That's it. So quit putting so much pressure on yourself.
What? As working women
I know.
And mothers, we put too much pressure on ourselves? I don't know what you're talking about. Mystified.
Yeah.
So speaking of goals, I'm going to shift into what we wanted to talk about today, which is anyway, I'm like laughing because I know what is on your mind and on my mind. So it is about creating culture and supporting culture within the organization that you work. Because let's face it, kids, we spend way more time at work than we don't.
Right.
Even if you're virtual or virtual part-time, you know, there's a sense of camaraderie. There's organizations, to me, take on actual personalities. And you want to work in an organization with a real great personality.
Yes.
Let's face it, right?
Yes.
So you see those people more than you see the people you actually love in your life, right?
Yep.
So we actually spent a lot of time last year as leaders in an organization being purposeful about really creating even better culture within our organization. So,
and what's interesting is when you bring on team members, one of the things that I like to discuss when I am interviewing individuals is that I want to make sure this is as much a fit for you as it is a fit for us. Because that is everything. If you come on board and you're like, what did I just get myself into? I'm miserable. I'm not happy. That is not the goal. Like, you know, obviously we're not just here to hire people to be, grunt workers and grind all day. I mean, that just comes naturally because that's just the industry we're in. It's busy. It's hard work. You just got to get through it.
Financial services ain't easy.
No. And so, but you want to hire somebody who has a good personality, that they're upbeat, that they're positive. And, I feel like we've done a great job doing that over the past couple of years.
And for people when it's not the right fit any longer, you've heard these words come out of my mouth, like recently, where I said, look, Kathleen and I haven't had the same job that we had in our 20s.
Nope.
So if this isn't the right fit for you anymore, let's help you transition into the right fit.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't have to be this dramatic, awful thing, but really good people who are doing really good jobs and have bright futures,
yes.
I'll fight for them.
Heck yeah.
I will fight for them.
Yes.
And so I was laughing with Kathleen because we're talking about goals. And so one of the things, okay, so let me back up before I talk about the thing we were laughing about. But this is a conversation. Now, Kathleen's COO of the company. I'm part owner of the company. So you might be thinking, oh, well, is this just like something for leadership? It isn't, because everybody has a part to play when it comes to culture.
Right.
Every single person.
And I've always said also, it could be, there's always the same characters in just different people or different bodies, within
like characters from The Office?
Yes. I mean, it's just like you always have your person who's high energy. You always have the person who's kind of like Eeyore, or you've always got the person that's,
who's Dwayne?
Steady. What'd you say? Who's annoying?
No. No, I already know.
Okay.
Don't answer that one.
And so anyway.
None of our people.
No. But anyway, the point is that I was explaining this to my daughter, and I said now she's going to college, so she works in a restaurant, and she's like, I'm just not happy with the people here. I'm not happy with the people. I'm like, look, you're going to go to a new job in a new restaurant and have the same characters. They're just different names. So you just have to learn to figure out, God, what is the word for it? It's just like learning their style. It's like, I always like when I meet people to keep them at arm's length until I know, like, I can trust them. We can, basically trust. It comes down to trust for me.
Well, and I think also when you're in an organization that maybe doesn't have the best culture, you can change your own little crew, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can find your tribe members, like the people you connect with,
right? And
you can create your own little culture. And I will tell you that will have ripple effect on the pond.
Yes,
right,
100%.
So one of the things, so last year we went through an exercise with everyone in the company where we broke everyone out into groups of 3 or 4. And me and Kathleen and our other partner sat down with them just to listen to what they thought we could improve, what things would make their job better, what things they did like. And we had really great feedback. And one of the consistent asks, and this really kind of shocked me, was they wanted to know more about the advisors, and Kathleen is the COO, and me and Perry as the owners. They wanted to know what our dreams were, like what our goals were, because we talked to them about their goals a lot. They also wanted us to know their goals, which is like duh.
Right.
But they really wanted it to be a two-way street.
Right.
Now, I said we're in financial services, so guess what none of us are good at? Like sharing feelings, unless it's anger.
Yeah.
Unless it's anger, fear, or frustration.
Right.
Like, ain't no financial advisor sharing any emotion with anyone, right? Like, we are just working ourselves to death. So, I was really trying to figure out, like, okay, what can we do? Like, how? I mean, there's no way Perry's going to go talk to people about what his goals and dreams are,
gosh,
right?
no.
Like, there's absolutely no way.
Right.
So then I had this kind of aha moment where so as a woman in finance, only 20% of advisors are women. There aren't a whole lot of women in the industry to begin with. And so as much as I like to think that I'm very authentic, I think there are a lot of times in the workplace where I'm not really completely authentic because I'm very much in kind of that male energy, like male mindset, business, like, in a very elementary sense. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you know what? Because it wasn't just the goals thing. There were a lot of things that our employees asked for, which fell under like EQ, like emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, well, guess what? Like I'm a woman, and that's one thing I think women are typically very good at, is like bringing the emotional piece in, right? Mm-hmm. So I did something that I was like, everyone's going to hate this, especially Perry, and everyone did hate it, especially Perry, but everyone loved it at the end.
No, it was so great.
It was so great, but I'm like, you know what, y'all? We're going to do vision boards.
Yep.
We are going to make vision boards. And Perry was like, what is a vision board? Our business coach was like, what is a vision board? I'm like, y'all are like old white men.
Right.
You tell any woman, they're like, woo, vision boards.
Well, case in point, yesterday I was on a COO call with our business manager and the other COOs.
Yeah.
And so he didn't have an agenda put together. So he's like, what do you guys want to talk about? And so we're kind of just shooting the shit a little bit. But then I'm like, you guys, and I just went through the same scenario you talked about, and I showed them the vision board. And so everybody's like, I love this. Like the women were going crazy. And he was like, okay, does everybody know what a vision board is? Because I'm still trying to figure it out. And I was like, what?
He's like in his 70s. He's the coolest. Like you would think he's in his 50s. He's like
amazing.
Very cool. He's very handsome, very smart. And I can see him being like, does not compute what is a vision
exactly.
board.
So later on, he was telling us about how his goal is to write a book, and not a big novel, but just kind of like a book about the industry. And so I said, okay, so Bill, what you do.
I would give that to everyone I know because he's so good.
He's so good. I go, so Bill, this is what you would do. You would take your vision board and you would stick a little book on there. And you're like,
did you tell him that I have a book on my vision board because I'm writing a book?
No, I didn't tell him yet. But anyway, I was like, that's how that works. He's like, okay, got it.
So the other cool thing that we did, our friend Erin, who runs events and marketing for the firm, she did this whole like spread. Like it was an event. She had these little like snack boxes made up. We busted out wine for the event.
Yes.
Well, I had to get vodka for Perry.
Because and what's so surprising, because he's not a drinker at all. And so
that's how stressed out he was about a vision board.
And that's what's so funny.
He was so stressed out. He needed vodka in the office.
I know. But I said, I go, Perry, that's usually my line. Like, are we having cocktails while we do this? I wasn't even in a cocktail mood. I was just like cutting and pasting. I kind of already had things planned in my mind since we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks.
Yep. So one of the cool things that Erin, like a cool twist that she put on this that I thought was lovely, was she had everyone draw a name. Now we have like 17 people in our firm, so it's not a big firm, but you could do this in a division. You could, and again, if you're not in leadership, do it with the 3 people in your department that you really like.
Yes.
You don't like be the change in your own little tiny circle. So, Erin had everyone draw a name out of a hat, and you had to write a couple of nice things about that person.
Yes.
3 people, including you, which I wasn't shocked about, broke down crying.
I know. Well, but it was like, so
Karen couldn't even read it.
I know.
Our compliance officer is partially retired, like really mostly retired at this point.
Yes.
And it was like, this is like yesterday was her last day.
Yes.
She's with us like for projects over here. Anyway, but and I have been with her since I was a baby CA. I'm baby FA rather.
Right.
She couldn't read hers. That's how emotional she got. Yes. I had to read it for her.
Yep.
Anyway, so the point is that I do feel like that exercise did help shift the energy in the office. I feel like, and I said to everyone, like, put them at your desk. Like, everyone should be reminded. And then we had to go around and everyone had to at least share one thing on their board.
Yep.
And like, there were cool things like one of our team members wants to run a marathon. Yep. Like, I didn't know that. No. And I've run a marathon one. I will never do it again.
Yeah.
But I thought, so anyway, as women if you're a professional woman and you're in that same boat as I have been, where you think like, just be like, be a smaller, daintier version of a man. Think like a man. Like, no, you actually, it's, people want to have that balance. They want to have, so think of outside the box things that, we do as women that I think could bring more value.
But then, we had one of our financial advisors, he's like 74 years old. He had a blast with it. He put glitter on his because he has a lot of sparkle or energy. I can't remember what he said. And then he had to put a DJ on there because he wants to see the specific DJ that he follows. And I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah. And we had run into each other on a flight back from Florida. Yes. And he was like, I really want to go to Dubai. And he like found something like put Dubai in his.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was so culture.
And he's a chart analyst by day.
Oh yeah, he's like a technical geek. Like he is so geeky.
That was hilarious. It was great. And we say geeky in a great way.
I mean, financial services, you want to be a geek, right?
It's true.
So I think that's one specific example of a way that we I think it's 2, right? One is we listened. And then 2 is we actually try to deliver on what we were being asked for.
Right.
But there are a lot of other ways that we create culture, right? And so does anything come to mind for you?
It's just a lot of the team building I think is important. And so last year, it was one of those things like we had a couple of team building moments, but like you last year were like, I want 4 next year, at least 4. And so before the end of the year, we scheduled the 4 for the year. And, so the vision board was the first one because everyone talk about goals. And then the next one is a happy hour, just getting everybody together, just keeping it simple. And then there's a volunteer event we want to do at some point during this year. And then we always have like our holiday event.
Third quarter. Yeah. So third quarter will be we'll shut down the office early and go like, stuff bags for Feed My Starving Child or something,
right.
And then the last of the year is the holiday party.
Yes.
So.
And that's plenty because they see us all day at work. They really don't want to hang out with us on, all the time in their personal time. Although this past week when I was working with my office door open, which I always do, but I heard them all talking about, do you guys want to go out on Saturday night? Like, let's go here. Let's meet here. We can go to the Buffalo Chip or let's do this. And I was like, they're playing in a honky tonk. I loved it. I thought that was great camaraderie. And I think that's really great for culture.
It is great. It is great for culture.
But to elaborate, like the things that we do, you know, we have Team Lunch Tuesdays where we bring in lunch once a month for everybody just to get together. Some of the recommendations one of the recommendations was to like have questions in that hat that you pull out and you answer, you know.
Because again, they want to get to know us. And
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God, I don't want.
Yes.
Like,
You're like, just listen to our podcast.
we are open books. You want to know about me and my goals?
Yep.
Like, listen to me and Kathleen.
Yep.
We're there. We'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Exactly. It's pretty funny.
But yeah, it's like, you know, that saying happy wife, happy life.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you're happy at work, and you're not going to be happy at work every single day, but if you're dreading going into the office, I mean,
yeah, nobody wants that, you know, and that's where it goes that it's not a fit for you. It's not a fit for you if you're waking up in the morning and you're just, you know, dreading getting out of bed to get your day going. You know, you have to just change something up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Fresh start of the year, like you ain't happy where you're at. There are places out there that are the right fit for you.
Exactly.
You know? But you know what I would also say when it comes to culture, and we have talked about this, you need to do some looking internally.
100%.
So when we did the listening sessions, it was because we had gotten some feedback through a survey that, you know, like things were good.
Right.
But they could improve.
Yes.
And if you're in leadership, you can get information like that and be like, well, screw them.
Right.
I'm doing everything I can for them.
Yes.
You know, like what?
Right.
But it's important if you are in a position like you're leading a division or you're leading a company or, you know, or even if you're just like, or someone who has the ear of upper management or whatever it is.
Right.
If you get feedback, like, feedback is a gift.
Yes.
Feedback is a gift.
Right.
And you need to be able to sit with it, internally think through it and figure out like how to improve with that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if your place isn't the right place, and you know that they're doing all that they can for you, or like it is a pretty good place to work. Everyone else seems pretty happy and you're not. Like sometimes you have to take stock of just your own self.
Right.
Like, you know, it's easier to point the finger at
right.
like at something,
Yep.
right? If you're not happy or you're feeling, you know, you're anyway. I think it's a bit of a two-way street.
It is.
So if you're at a great company, like don't take them for granted, right?
No.
And a great company doesn't mean they're perfect.
Well, and the whole thing is just having an open door policy so that they feel like they can come in and have a warm conversation with you. And, you know, that's my one good thing for the week is that the letter that was written about me, the task was just write a couple of sentences. And there's 3 paragraphs about, you know, just being a working mom and how you support the staff and how you support your family and your energy and all this stuff. And
Who do you think wrote your letter?
I have no idea. My guess is Erin or Emily. I don't know. I don't know. Did you? You could have written it too.
I didn't write yours. Do you want to know whose I wrote? Guess who I wrote?
I don't know because I didn't hear. Well,
you heard everyone's.
Well, there was.
I wrote one for someone who was there that day.
Okay.
So think.
Let me see. My guess is Karen.
No, I want to know who wrote Karen.
I thought it was yours. I thought it was yours.
I thought you wrote that. Nope. I did not write that.
Oh, okay.
No, I wrote Glenn's.
Oh, that was so great.
Yeah, I think he liked that one.
Yes, he did. Definitely.
But yeah, I don't know. Well, I wonder who wrote Ken's because it had to be someone who knew he was a model.
I know. Well,
did you not know he was a male model?
I did. No, I did know.
Okay.
And because he was with I said the Tom Ford company. I'm thinking the designer, but it was Ford.
Tom Ford agency.
Agency.
The Ford agency.
The Ford.
But not Tom.
No, that's
we will
what
get
I
there
said.
eventually.
I said Tom Ford. I'm like, no. He's a designer. The Ford, not the car.
Not the car.
Anyway,
we very, very different.
Yes.
Yeah. So. Yeah, in hhis early days, that always cracks me up.
I found out when we were doing our photo sessions.
Yeah,
and because the photographer was giving him compliments, and he was like, "Oh, I did used to be a model." And I was like, "That is so cute."
You were like, "What the what?"
I know. It's just so out
it's
of
not
his
that he's not
characteristics.
attractive. It's just like
it's just not his like. Again,
it's not his vibe.
He's a financial advisor.
If you told me Glenn had been a male model,
Yes.
I would have been like, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, Glenn showed me a picture of himself when he was younger.
Was he hot?
He looks like the alternative rock star, like 100%.
Stop it.
And that's what I told him. So we'll have to go when you go to the office. We'll have to dig it out.
He is a good dresser.
He is. He's so snazzy.
He's a good dresser, because there are some people that are like, especially men, like it's easy to kind of, distinguish yourself, right? Because men in our industry, at least, wear like the same like outfit. You know, they all wear like a blue suit with a, subdued tie and white shirt and blah, blah, blah. Although they wear suit jackets less, but anyway, it doesn't matter. They all still look the same.
Yeah.
So if you have like a little bit of flair, like you stand out, but there are some men that like really are like, there's this guy in our industry. When I was on this girls' weekend just recently with a bunch of women in the industry, they mentioned his name and one of the women was like, he was on the dating apps the same time I was, and we would pop up for each other. And I was like, I thought he was gay, which is awful. Right. But it wasn't just the dressing.
Yes,
I don't know. He's very over the top.
Oh,
now everyone's going to be like, who does Nicole Corning think is gay? Sorry.
That is so funny.
So what other things do you think are like, I have a few things that come to mind, but is there anything else? Like, cause you work right like as
with
a COO, you are
yes.
like, you're in the trenches talking with them all the time.
It's not just, did you get this done? Did you get this done? We can do that all day long. And that makes me feel like I'm a mother, and I don't like, this is,
the micromanaging. Nobody wants to do that.
No, 100% no. So I always ask,
although the weird thing is the younger workers want more of that.
Really? Is
Well,
there a
like they
survey
want more
out there?
like we have one of the guys who's studying for the CFP.
Yeah.
I had mentioned, I'm like, if you'd like, I can check in and help you with your studying.
Yes.
And I'm thinking to myself, if anyone had said that to me, I'd be like, nope.
I just no.
No, he does.
I know.
He does.
I think it's great. It's accountability.
No, and it does. It's helpful. And he's asking great questions, and it's really like strategy. And I can feel that he's excited after we talk. I'm like, I'm all in.
Right.
But it just different personalities.
But it's just being personable. I mean, that's it. We have a family first culture also, because everybody works hard.
100%.
And like yesterday we had an employee whose son has been very sick. He has this crazy rash. And so we're all over lunch trying to figure out what that rash is. But we're like, go home and take him to the doctor. Like, don't stay here. Your work is going to be here tomorrow.
Yep.
So we really try to instill that. And which I think everybody loves that.
I also think that like everyone is involved in creating culture, right? Mm-hmm. So I definitely believe in open door policy. Like if you are, if you're like mid-career or you're just, coming into your career, you still have important feedback.
Yes.
And I think that there's value in sharing that.
Yeah.
I would say though, there's a time and a place for everything.
Yes.
And there's a way to present it where people will hear you.
Yes.
So, and that is important. Like if you feel really strongly about something, so strongly, you're compelled to like bring it to your manager or, or the executive team's attention.
Right.
Like make sure you're presenting it in a way that people are going to hear it.
It's constructive.
And I think for me, and this could just be me, but I like to get some feedback, like here's where we can improve it. And here's how I think we could improve it.
That's exactly it. You want to come with some solutions.
Some solutions.
Just not with the problem. And that's what I always coach everybody also when it comes to situations at the office. If something is not going the way it's supposed to go, or you found out something didn't go, you need to find out what the options are so we can present them and figure out which way we're going to go. Because the last thing you want to do is like bring it to the table and you're like, ooh, I don't know what to do. And you're like, you have to find out. You have to find some options.
Well, I also think that when you come to someone and you're like, hey, this is what I like feel could be improved, but you say like, and these are maybe some ways to improve it.
Yeah.
When you hear that second part, you're like, oh, like, first of all, they're smart. Second of all, they're thoughtful. But third of all, they're not just bitching.
Right.
Like no one wants to hear like,
No, we don't have time for that. And I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just like, no, I think I'm the less.
You're very sensitive.
Yes. Well, I'm an empath. So I really want to understand why you're feeling the way you feel. I want to make sure you feel good about it, I care. I genuinely care.
I feel like I am an empath, but I like shut it down a lot. Where
Well,
I'm just
it just
like,
depends on what we're working through. You know, it's like there's only so much.
you only have so much bandwidth.
That's
you only
exactly.
have so much to give.
Yep, that's exactly it. I tell my children that every day. I'm just kidding.
Do you really tell your children that every day?
No.
How often is Brooklyn calling you from school, by the way?
So I don't even know if I've spoken to her today. Before she went, like first semester, I talked to her like every day on my way to work, or she'd call me when she's getting ready. And then I called her yesterday at the end of the day. She called in the middle of the day, but I couldn't talk. So I called her on my way home from work, and she was like, I just want to tell you how my first day back was. I'm like, tell me. And so we talked about it. And then, which is interesting because she's taking a real estate. She's going to school to be an architect, and she's taken a real estate class. And the first thing that they talked about was morals and integrity and how important that is in the industry. I was like, girl, that is a life lesson. That's not just business. That's a life lesson.
They should have, you know what? No one would take it.
Yeah.
They should have a college class called Morals and Integrity.
Yes.
Except no one would take it.
Right.
So you get to like sneak it in there.
Yep.
It was like putting like, chopped up broccoli in the in their mashed potatoes. Yeah.
Exactly.
You're welcome, kids. You're going to have a healthy life because of me.
But she's like, that is true. Because I was giving her an example about, the story already. And I was explaining that to her. And it's just something it's just one of those things. Somebody said something to me that wasn't true, and it came out full circle yesterday. And I was like, oh, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We had liar, pants on fire.
Yes.
On staff.
Yeah.
They are not here any longer, but we were like,
it's just interesting how things come to fruition.
And she got totally busted.
I know.
It was like...
not even by any of our people, somebody on the outside. Anyway.
Look, we are everywhere.
Yes.
Our reach is far.
Yep.
Do not think you are going to get away with stuff.
That's just karma. That's just karma coming around.
It is.
Anyway.
But yeah, I think, new year doesn't have to be a new you. It can be the same you.
Yes.
But I think that, that recognize that you spend so much time at work. Mm-hmm. I would put that on your goals list. Like,
right.
How do I make my experience at work better? Mm-hmm. Or if it's not the right fit for you,
right.
that is okay.
Yes.
Like, that doesn't mean anything's wrong with the company. Now, look, there are some bad companies. There are some toxic companies out there. But, like, put a bullet in it. You're not going to fix that, right? Mm-hmm. And there are just some toxic people, so, like, you might not be the right fit because you're in a culture that like doesn't accept that. So maybe you need to find some place that, you know what? What's the name of the restaurant where Brooklyn works? No, don't say it.
Okay.
I don't want to get sued. But like, sounds like it's a toxic atmosphere. Yeah. If you're a toxic person, perfect place for you.
Right.
Yep. But like every old sock finds an old shoe. Like there's a right place for you. You're not stuck. Mm-hmm. Yes. You're like, and things are malleable. Like, don't feel like if you're in a place that you feel pretty good about, but there are some things that are really like tweaking you. Right. Like raise your hand, have a voice, have a good conversation. Also, don't have those conversations in front of a lot of people.
No.
Especially if it's about any one person. Yes. You do not want to have those conversations in front of everybody. That doesn't help.
No.
That doesn't help. So
Lessons to be learned. By the Working Mommy's Manual.
Okay, so do you have any parting thoughts on culture?
Just be true. Be true to yourself. I mean, that's where it really comes down to. Just be true to yourself, and then you really feel good about what you're doing.
And I think just like raise your hand. Yep. Raise whatever you feel. If you feel it very deeply, it's important. Mm-hmm. And it's important to bring it to folks' attention. Mm-hmm. And, you might work at a Fortune 500 company. Like, you ain't changing the company. Mm-mm. So you can always change your venue. Right. Or you can just change your little group around you. Right. Change your division. Change your department. Change the 3 people around you. Find your tribe. Find your people. Find where you, like, put it on your goals list and just, like, move the ball forward. Right. Either, like, you need to transition somewhere, you need to do some internal work to be happier where you are, or you need to raise your hand and come with some constructive criticism and some solutions.
That's true. It's all true.
All right. So mom hack?
Didn't
you?
I was thinking about that this morning, and I don't have my life hack calendar anymore. It's 2026.
I know what your mom hack is.
What is it?
Your mom hack calendar is your old school desk calendar.
I love my old school desk calendar. I'm very particular on how I pick it out. Last year I picked it out because my mother-in-law had passed away, and she gardened. Her garden was so beautiful. We were married at their home because the garden was so beautiful. So it was all gardens. Every month was a different garden. It was gorgeous. So
I love that.
I was sad to throw that one out.
I do think that's actually look, I get we're all on our phones and electronic and we need to share everything. You share this calendar and whatever. But especially if you have a family and you have your calendar, your husband's calendar, his calendar,
right?
Having it written out somewhere. Yeah. I like that idea.
It is. It's just nice. And I put little hearts on the days that mean something to me. You can go through, when I get the calendar, I put the hearts on my special dates, birthdays, anniversaries, passings, all the stuff, you know, it's just, I don't know. There's something about those ancillary papers that you get to touch and you're
it's a different experience.
It is.
It's a different experience. Mine I already talked about. It's just having a goals list.
Yes.
That throw a New Year's resolution out the window and having one thing is you're undershooting.
Yeah.
Have a list of the things you want to, that are important to you to work on this year.
Yes.
You know?
On my vision board, I had travel because we didn't do any travel pretty much. Well, we did at the very end of the year because my husband was so sick last year.
Yeah.
This year, I think I put travel on 3 times. My husband's like, do you want to travel this year? I'm like, yes.
You're like, what about my vision board with the 13 travel destinations would make you think that?
Yeah.
I know. Oh yeah, my vision board. You know the thing, I really want to own property on or near water.
Yes,
that is that
is a dream, especially because we're in Arizona and we're so landlocked.
I know, and I grew up in Boston, so I'm used to being around water, being able to go to water, and anyway, so that's on my vision board. And the thing is, I don't need to buy it next year, and I actually have already talked to Jonathan about it. I was like, I would like us, we travel a lot. Yes. So I'm like, let's take trips to places where maybe we would buy a place that was near the water. We're scouting, right? So, then I also it was funny, because Glenn had been talking about Dubai, but I love Charleston. Charleston is one of the dreamiest places. I just love it. And I was going through one of the magazines and it was Charleston. So I put Charleston on there because I want to go back and visit, but I want to go back and really look at real estate.
All the stuff.
So mom hack, one good thing.
Well, my one good thing was the letter that was written about me that was only supposed to be 2 sentences, but it was 3 paragraphs, which was very loving. And I felt loved from that. So
it was real. Great. It was thoughtful.
I'm going to Mod Podge it on the back of my vision board, actually.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
I still haven't gotten a letter.
So there's still people that have not filled that there's 3 people. We took inventory yesterday who did not turn letters in. So we will be stalking them.
Yeah. I probably don't want anyone to send me a letter. They'll be like, Nicole scares me. That's all right. That's all right.
No.
That's all right.
That is not what it would say.
That. No. So my one good thing is that I felt like my holidays were flawless.
I love that. You started off with that. Jonathan came into town early.
He was there for Christmas. The boys were great with him. He was great with the boys. We went back the next day to Virginia. We had a New Year's Eve that could have gone sideways, but we at the last minute were like, actually, it was his friend Floyd was like, everyone's going back to Jonathan's house. And I was like, okay. So we're hide all the sex toys now. I'm just joking.
That's so funny. So what's so funny is because I said a Happy New Year to y'all on New Year's Day. And then he was like, oh, you missed the night last night. Oh. I was like, I wonder what I can't remember what I responded, but I'm like, I'm sure it was fun. If it involved bourbon margaritas, it was fun.
So it almost involved bourbon margaritas. So we have a restaurant we go to, and basically the 2 owners, the owner and the longtime manager had a split. And so we walked in and our table wasn't reserved and there were 13 people coming. So the table wasn't reserved. And then it was just sad because not only had these guys had split, and then a lot of the regular women who worked there had all left as well. It was a whole thing.
Oh no, that's so sad.
It was so sad. And for the whole restaurant, they had 2 servers.
Oh gosh.
And
on New Year's Eve.
So we were helping the owner and just busting tables. And actually, I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm really not. Sorry. So everyone else is busting tables. But then they were like, you know what, let's just get a bunch of, so his friends Floyd and Kevin were like, look, we're going to go to the store. We're going to get a bunch of stuff to grill and food. And they made it like into the restaurant or into the grocery store, like right before they closed.
Oh my gosh.
And they were just like, we'll take that. But we ate like kings and everyone just came back and we had a great time.
That's so fun. Now, did you cook it at the restaurant or did you go back to Jonathan's?
No, we went back to Jonathan's. We just like, they grilled and
that's perfect.
You know, I put together a charcuterie.
Those are so nice. Like those impromptu moments are really what the memories are about.
Because it's unexpected.
Yes.
Right?
Those are my favorite.
So.
Just goes that crazy way.
Yes.
Fun.
So, okay, I hope everyone has an amazing 2026. And even if it's not an amazing 2026, I hope you find pockets of joy where you can.
Yes.
And I hope you improve, even if you have a great working situation, like take one more step to make it an even better working situation. Because you count.
Yeah.
You're important.
Yes.
So I love you.
Love you all.
So thanks for listening and cheers and press and hold.
It's dry. It's not dry January, but we're cheersing water.
Oh yeah,
anyway.
we're cheersing with water. Next episode, not so much.
Exactly. We're saving it.
Bye everybody.
Have a great week.